Greetings, blade fans, and welcome back to This Old Sword Blade Reviews on YouTube. And I have a AM8 knife for you today. That's my only one at the moment. I had one earlier in the year. It was a nice front flipper. Didn't keep it because it had some voiding issues on the carbon fiber, and I really didn't like it for the price of the knife. So anyway, time moves on. I get other knives and review them, and once again I'm looking at White Mountain and I see a very interesting AM8 knife that I like and would like to check it out. So here it is. And in case you didn't know, and I really don't know the relationship setup, it is basically a Miguron knife, Miguron made knife. So they call this division, I'm going to call it a division, AM8 knives. If you read the description out at Miguron, it's only going to confuse you. So I'm going to assume it's some sort of a subsidiary of Miguron. But here it is, and I figure we'd do kind of a pseudo unboxing because I've had it out already. But I wanted to show you the box. It's kind of neat. It's a drawer sort of affair. Nice hard cardboard box with kind of like some fabric over it. You get a nice cleaning cloth. I've probably got a million of these inside the little envelopes from various manufacturers. I've never used, but you know, one day when I run out of cloths to clean my glasses, I can use it. Here is the little card that comes with it. Shows you different ways to get in touch with them. The designer is Sam Luo, and Sam Luo is basically the owner of Miguron Knives. So he designed this. Here's a really nice patch with some Velcro on the back, that new fine kind of Velcro. So should you want to attach that to something, you can. And here is the knife known as the Gladiator. Really cool, PVD coated. I don't know what the PVD coating is, because if you understand PVD, and I kind of had to look it up, it stands for physical vapor deposit or deposition. It's the way that the coating is added to it. It's the method of application. It's not the coating. So whether it's like a DLC or other type of coating, I don't know. It is, however, a dark gray in color on both the handle and on the blade. The blade being M390. However, I don't find that marked anywhere, but it is on the box and it was advertised as such. Coming in around $175, really not bad at all for what you're getting. Titanium and M390. You're getting blue anode Thumbstuds, but not a flipper tab. Getting a flipper tab that's interesting because you have to kind of get way forward on it and place your finger on that flat, right? And then just pull back. And I didn't even pull that hard, and therefore I failed it. But it isn't really easy to fail, not in my experience anyway. But here we have a very ergo-neutral handle with a finger groove. Somehow I like to call those choils, probably because when they use a single one like that, it's reminiscent of one they put up here. But there is actually a finger choil right there. And if you're careful, you won't cut yourself, because I can see that the heel of the blade does go forward somewhat. So it doesn't become a point pointing back towards your finger. Still, you want to be careful if you're choking up on this knife, but it does give you that ability. We've got a slot for a lanyard, kind of an elongated oval. And it's mainly open back construction with a backspacer kind of mostly on the pommel And we do have a significant weight relieving inside there that you can see. And we're going to get all the specs in a moment. It's about a 3.5 inch blade. It's about an 8.3 something overall. We'll get that again exactly in a moment. Very comfortable. Not that heavy. And that real interesting short clip blade. Comes through with a decent edge, a little on the smooth side for me. I like a more aggressive edge, but it does feel as if it is hair shaving sharp. Drops shutty pretty much out of the box. Works well with a thumb stud. No problems firing that out. There is no texturing. Well, there's a little bit. There are these rings kind of. So I guess you could say there's texturing, but on the thumb stud, but none on the top. But if you come down into that space, push forward, it's going to open pretty much every time. Got a little bit of jimping on the backspacer. Not too aggressive. A little bit of jimping on the blade. Because of the coating, it kind of smooths out a little bit. So you lose some of the roughness that might have been there without it. Blue pivot on the right side and on the left side with a gold colored, brass colored surround on the right side. There's your hardened steel insert. Easy access to open and close, very nice. A little bit of a chamfer there on the locking bar. Real easy to disengage, but not so easy that you're going to worry about that blade closing when it shouldn't. All right, it's measurement time. Could have read them off of the Miguron website, but a lot of that's in metric, and I do mostly imperial units. So we got about an 8.45 overall. And we've got a, really, if you measure it, not 3.5, but really we got like a 3 3/4 inch blade to the handle. We've got a 3.5 inch cutting edge, however. So that's kind of cool. A little larger knife than I anticipated. If we set to inches here and go to the handle, 0.51. I'm going to take the lower of the two numbers. And what do we got for blade stock? 0.12. Let's see what that works out to in millimeters. 3 millimeters exactly, as it should be for the conversion. And let's see how much you're going to be hanging in your pocket. Don't do that. Yes, thank you. My scale takes a while to think. It is a 5.35 ounce knife. I know if I didn't correct myself, you guys would. I can always count on you for that. So, not the lightest thing because, you know, it's just, even for a 3 millimeter blade stock, there's plenty of weight in the handle, and that seems to balance out right at the finger groove, which is a good place for it to balance. You are a bit far back, but you can choke up. So the way that finger groove is placed, it sort of does set you back to about there behind the pivot pin. But again, you know, you can't really carve a finger groove into the area under the pivot pin usually, because then you risk having to cut into the all the support stuff that is allied with the pivot. And this is on bearings. As you can see, it's pretty smooth out of the box. Will get smoother with use. And it is locking up, looks like internal. Well, no, it's a pivot pin that's set forward, so it's not visible when you close the knife, and does engage in the groove there. And there's a name for that, but I forgot what it was. So you see it covers over the pin, which is a good thing because you've got, when it closes, you've got multi-surface contact, kind of a maybe 180-degree contact on that pin instead of just stopping on one surface. So I think that's a good thing because it does lock up like a drum, no problems. And I did not adjust this whatsoever. I would call it fidgeting. I have no problems opening and closing it with either method. You got a little landing pad there, as the Todd Knife and Tool guys like to call it. They designed that into a lot of their designs, their knives, like the Shodan and the Malware and a few of the others. I kind of like it. I really love their designs. So very kind of modern, sort of industrial, if you like this look. Got to follow through and then you're all set. But I'd say the detent's pretty good the way it is. Let's do a compare. Here's the Griptilian, my usual comparing knife. So we're going to see that it is longer by about 3/4 of an inch overall and a longer blade. I'd say the handles are about the same as the Griptilian. And Rat 1, it's going to give it more of a challenge for the size competition, but look, it is just about as long as the Rat 1 overall, and same blade length. So the Rat 1's got a teeny bit longer handle, not by much. I'd call it like an 1/8 inch, something like that, 1/4 inch at the most. So you got a Rat 1 size knife. It is smooth. It is a little slick. It's not grippy. You got these very nice milled lines in the blade and the handle. It would actually be nice if they threw a fuller on the blade. It would kind of match those lines. We got a clip that is kind of just a straight modern thing with, yeah, I mean, I didn't find it hanging up. But you are going to stick out about an inch, 3/4 of an inch to an inch out of the pocket if you like deep carry clips. This isn't it. It is not a hot spot. It lies fairly low. I mean, in the right hand, I don't feel that at all. It kind of goes into the hollow of the palm. On the left hand, I can touch it with my middle finger, but it's not sharp. It's not obtrusive. I would say, you know, good to go with the clip. And you may or may not like the blade shape. It's just kind of that cool, almost military-looking clip point, like something that would belong on a fixed blade, or maybe one of your old knives you got growing up. So in that respect, kind of a traditional-looking blade. But that is the Gladiator AM8 knives, manufactured, I believe, by Miguron. And I'm going to look at the box again before we go and just check all that kind of stuff out. All the material inside that I took out was about AM8 knives, and there's no mention of Miguron. So I think it's a division of Miguron. Well, what can I say? If you know, let me know. And don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. If you buy this knife at White Mountain, don't forget to use my discount code OLDSWORD for 10% off. So $175, you get $17.50 off. Bring you down a bit. Enjoy, and we'll see you soon. I'll be back with more reviews before you know it. Take care.